But first, to the other storm of the more financial variety that never materialized. Stocks rallying despite what we've been seeing going on, or the fear of what could happen with a hurricane. Bernanke today denying investors any hint of another round of stimulus, although he kind of left them hanging. That's got to be welcome news to GOP presidential candidate Ron Paul, who joins us now on the phone. Congressman, he sort of just punted today. The markets wanted to see more help, but he more or less said, well, I'm going to have another meeting next month. We'll kibitz about it, but that's it. What'd you make of that?
Well, he doesn't have much option. He only has one tool, and that is to inflate the currency. And, you know, because he didn't announce another program and said we're just going to maintain this steady ship of state, what he's doing really is a form of QE because how does he keep interest rates low? He has to keep monetizing the debt. He's
right. Congressman, you're a genius. I just want to bring this back to levels even I can understand, and that is QE, you're referring to quantitative easing, when he comes in the market and essentially buys up a lot of securities and debt,
right.
Essentially prints money. You've never been a big fan of that. You've never been a big fan of the Fed, but the market is always looking for tonic, and that's tonic they've been waiting for. What do you just make of that oddity?
Well, I don't think there's a tonic yet. I think there's still too many uncertainties going on. I mean, he's guaranteeing he's going to continue the process. He just is indicating he's not going to have any more surges. But we've been doing this for a long time. Greenspan did it, kept interest rates too low too long, and then we hit QE1, QE2. But as long as Bernanke say he's going to go into 2013 and maintain very, very low interest rates, means he has to be very active because if foreigners decide not to buy much, he has to buy up these treasury bills to keep these interests very low. So I don't think a whole lot has changed, but he just didn't have any big announcements. He wasn't looking to stir up the markets. He was trying to calm the markets, but he certainly didn't calm the gold market. The gold recognizes that he's going to still print a lot of money. And he's hoping that if he throws it back to the Congress will cut back on the deficit, which isn't going to happen. So next week, of course, will be another week, and we'll see what happens then from how people will interpret this all.
Congress, I wish I had more time, but while you're on with me here, I always hear from a lot of your people, not me specifically, I guess, sir, but they always say, Ron Paul deserves more publicity. Ron Paul deserves to be on more. Do they know how often you're on this show?
I don't know, but I bet you have the record. So
well, I do. Actually, I do. And I'll tell you something, Congressman, because maybe you can pass this along to you. You've been on, I was checking this, sir, 28 times since November 2008, 50 times since January 26, 2005. That doesn't include other special appearances. In fact, you've been on with me so often. I love having you on. You're a great guest. Don't get that wrong. You could practically be my co-anchor. So I'm wondering...
Well, that's a flattering statement.
I think it is, too. But seriously, can you get back to them and let them know? I know I'm kind of like the Rodney Dangerfield of these primetime shows, but let them know. You have an open invite. You've been on a lot of times. We love having you on.
Somebody accuses me of, complaining a lot. Actually, you haven't heard me doing complaining, but I can't control all the supporters who think different ways. And you've been very generous with my son as well. And I appreciate that, too.
Well, I'm just pulling your leg, but I wanted to let your people know we love having you on. We've always have, long before you got to be a rock star, by the way. All right, Congressman, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, sir, very, very much.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, I hope my bosses don't come up on that co-anchor thing, because he really would be good at that. All right.